there's more to life than and the world than just like math, science. Like there are so many things that you can do out there. There's so many different types of careers and jobs that you can choose to pursue, but it's just unfortunate because
Hi innovators, welcome back to Networker's Fireside Chat. I'm your host, Rachel Begim, and a little bit about Networker is that we're an organization dedicated to helping high schoolers connect to the industry professionals who are part of gender-marginalized communities. If you'd like to learn more or get involved, check out the links to our socials and websites, which will be in the description. In today's video, we talked to Anessa Tam, who is the Community Engagement Manager at Loftia. Enjoy! Hi Anissa, thank you so much for coming to Networker's Fireside Chat / panel thing. Um, can you please just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Um, yeah, so my name is Anessa. I am a senior at the Academy of Arts University studying graphic design. I will be graduating around next summer-ish. And I used to be a STEM major and then switched over to design a couple years ago. And right now, I am currently a community engagement manager at Qloud Games, which is an indie game studio. And we are developing a game called Loftia right now. So yeah, that's where I'm putting my skills to use. And yeah, I'm based in the Bay Area. I've been here for like basically almost since when I was born, never really left. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. We're excited to have you. And so you mentioned you used to be a STEM major, so I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about like your journey to like switching to graphics and then also then becoming the social media marketer at the and community manager at the Qloud Games.
Yeah, so for pretty much the vast majority of my life, I always thought I was going to be a veterinarian. So I went into pre-vet right after graduating high school. And obviously that's a very, STEM heavy curriculum, math, science, all of that jazz. None of which I was really all that good at. But I kind of just tried to like plow my way through anyways, thinking that like, oh, if I just like work hard enough, like I'll be able to manage and it'll all work itself out. Um, Clearly that was not the case and it did not happen. And I realized like, okay, I'm just not good at math and science. And it doesn't really, at that point, it was just about being realistic with myself and being like, okay, you suck at these things. You should probably try and like do something else that you're actually good at. And so I found out about graphic design and I was like, wait, these are things that, I really like and I sort of kind of do already in terms of like designing posters and calligraphy, and I also bullet journal, so it's kind of similar. And so that was the field that I was like, okay, I'm gonna try going into this. And then last November was when I officially got recruited into Qloud Games. I mainly do a lot of like social media work, so coming up with ideas about like what to post with the rest of my marketing team, of course. And then I have occasionally used my, knowledge and expertise in the design field to come up with um, bits here and there throughout the game.
And so you mentioned that you are working on the game Loftia. So can you just talk a little bit about it and like I guess about like the mission of Loftia and why it's important to you?
Yeah, so I always say that the thing that um separates Loftia from others is the fact that community is at the core of our values. We're always like our main goal from the very beginning has always been to bring people together. And there's always this like negativity and this sort of, I guess, like stigma surrounding video games, saying that like they're bad for you, they'll rot your brain, like you should do like actual you should study or like do homework or do something more productive instead. But I think with a lot of the game mechanics that we have and the again overarching like um goal of like bringing people together in community, we're kind of going against that, and being like, hey, you can actually like have fun in Lofty, you can be productive, you can educate yourself about the environment, and in a world that's like that always has like new technology and innovations like emerging, it's kind of hard to like keep track of, okay, what's actually like different out there. And to me, when I first came across Loftia on social media myself, it was actually specifically a reel about a little wind turbine that they were creating in game, but the wind turbine was like in the shape of a goldfish, which I thought was really peculiar. And so that's what drew me in. And I was like, oh, this Loftia is definitely different. So that's why I'm with them. And of course, everybody on the team, of course, is so knowledgeable and so talented. And that's why I've stuck around for so long. Yeah.
Yeah, I find like the community aspect like really important because I mean, I've grown up playing sports and I noticed like after COVID, like we'd have our senior games and there'd be like one, two, and like when I was used to having like these crazy big teams. So I think definitely like
Yeah,
that search for community is very like
of
apparent in
course.
today's world. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
so
Yes.
I was wondering like what like a day-to-day kind of looks like at either like Lofty or Cloud Games or what you like just a day in the life.
Yeah, so actually right now I'm not doing too much with Loftia because I am back in school. My school semester started in back in September, so I'm like halfway through right now. But I think many of my friends and coworkers in real life can attest to this when I say I basically wake up and do homework like all day long. Um, it's partly due to my personality, and also just due to the nature of my major. Um, I don't, it's different from other, or my major, I guess, is different than others in the fact that like we don't get new homework assignments like on a week to week basis. All of my work is purely project based. So it's literally like one or two projects that we do like all semester long. And each week we take it like step by step at least, and we do a lot of revisions and stuff like that. Which is why it takes me so long to like do homework, I guess. It takes a lot of brain juice. And so I try to do like one or two assignments every day just to make my workload a little easier. But in terms of Qloud Games, if I were more active on the team, like I usually am, like I was this past summer leading up to our Kickstarter, for example, um, there is a lot of content planning that I do surrounding what we're about to post on social media, what kind of reels, what's trending right now. And then if the team, of course, needs me to make any like digital assets, or if they want me to research something and come up with ideation and stuff like that, I'll go ahead and do that as well.
So when you create, like obviously either working for Cloud Games or just for school, like what do you find most important? Like to like when just creating like graphics or art or just any of that kind of stuff.
Um, well, first thing, which I guess my school has pretty much drilled into me at this point, is always, always, always do a crap ton of research before you dive into any project or assignment that you do. For just for context, literally the other day I had where we started a homework assignment in my visual systems class, and we're designing a few visual assets like posters, billboard ads, and stuff like that. Support that advertises like a social cause. So for me, I chose climate change, and I think the very first assignment we had as part of the project, the teacher was like, go on Pinterest, make a Pinterest board to because we always make mood boards and stuff. But then he was like, you guys need to find and pin a minimum of 100 images on this Pinterest board. And so it seems like a lot. It seems like a lot, but that is actually pretty normal. In my field, like just the amount of references that we need to find, and the amount of explorations that we have to do too in terms of sketching. Like if we're making a logo, we have to sketch out like hundreds of ideas, and then iterate on those ideas like week by week, and like slowly like filter out like which ones are actually good. And like again, like research and really like taking your time to explore everything is the key in succeeding in like all of my projects and all of my work. I also have a very specific, or not specific I guess, but my general style when I make design in general, and something that I always try to keep in mind is maintaining balance. So any design that you see, like any of my work that you see, whether it's on my portfolio or even what I'm working on right now, I always have some sort of negative space somewhere in my design. And that's something that I really try to keep in mind as I'm working, like that balance of graphic or like positive space where there's text, images, whatever, and then balancing that with blank nothing. So yeah, that's kind of my style.
Yeah, this is really interesting for me to hear because I just like I literally just sent in my like applications for college and stuff. So just like hearing all like I know your journey is like I'm also like applying as a STEM major, but like I very much like I don't know, like I like to like create, I like art, I like the music and stuff. So I think it's just very like this is very interesting for me just to hear your journey
Yeah, yeah,
about your like college experiences. And
yeah.
if there like what if there's a piece of advice you could give your high school self, like what would it be?
Um, yeah, so high school was a bit of a journey for me. Um, but if there was something that I could tell my high school self, it would definitely be that the world has more to offer than just math and science and STEM. Just because, like I said, I grew up in the Bay Area, and the high school that I went to specifically was very academically competitive, and all my peers were very like high achieving and very academically inclined. I remember my vice principal, during the it was like an almost end of the year like speech, and she was we were all in the gymnasium, and she said that over a third of my graduating class, so I graduated in 2019, and if anything, like since then, I bet you the stats have only like increased from then just because of how crazy everyone is. But yeah, she was like over a third of the 2019 graduating class had GPAs of over 4.0. And so it's like very, very I'm it's crazy. Like so there was a lot of pressure for me, and I thought like the only way that I could make money and live like a financially stable life was to go into STEM. And it also did not help that like my high school pretty much only offered like the same five like STEM classes like throughout all 4 years of my high school. We of course had like ceramics and photography and like art, but those were not really my thing. And like at the time, I didn't even like literally in high school, I had no idea like graphic design was even a thing. Like I did not know what it was, did not know it existed, did not know it was something that I could bother pursuing. Um, and I definitely feel like if I had been exposed to it earlier, like during high school, would have saved myself so much time and money. And I probably never would have had to like switch majors in the first place. So yeah, something that I would definitely tell my high school self is like there's more to life than and the world than just like math, science. Like there are so many things that you can do out there. There's so many different types of careers and jobs that you can choose to pursue, but it's just unfortunate because like I think a lot of high schools just pretty much like limit it and narrow it down to like those same few subjects. And so the kids there are like majority, they all come out graduating and they choose to pursue like, the typical software engineer, nursing, and all that stuff when there's literally like infinite possibilities. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that. I mean, I have a similar situation. Like my entire it's a very competitive school, and like I feel like majority of like the kids in my class like finance, like engineering, computer science,
Yeah,
all that vibe. And like
for sure.
I've been trying to fit in a ceramics class in my schedule since sophomore
Ah,
year. And I'm so sad I never got to take it because I really wanted to. But
oh yeah. Yeah. Gotta find the balance. But I mean, I feel like if you really wanted to do it, like you should do it. You know what I mean? Like, or you're still in like you're still in high school, right?
yeah, I'm a senior.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Yeah. I feel like yeah, in high school it's a little bit difficult because you kind of have a set amount of classes and you kind of have to do things a certain way in order to, actually like get out of there and graduate on time. But in college, you you might have a little more flexibility in your schedule. Especially if you like go to community college. Community college is like infinitely more flexible. But in college, I would definitely say like if you want to fit in like a random class that you found like just for funsies, like I definitely think a lot of my friends at least have actually done that where they just like like had nothing to do with their major. It just sounded fun and they just decided to take it. So I feel like that's something you could definitely do if you want.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that flexibility because like sophomore year I took like AP art history, like never touched art, never done that. One of my favorite classes, and like that's gained
Oh,
something from like
nice.
so I'm very, yeah, I
I
was very
see.
and but like also like same with like this is why I'm so grateful for like having a community like network her because I get to like hear all these like stories about like these like I don't know just like I just so exposed to
Right.
like all these like different fields, which is something I'm very grateful for. And so I was wondering like if you had any kind of mentorship or just like what like mentorship kind of means to you.
Right. So actually, I can't really answer this question because I've never really had a mentor in my life. Even now, or well, okay, actually, I don't have one yet. I haven't come across one yet. And I've pretty much had to um learn things myself. And of course, I had like my parents and stuff who were actually, my mom was the one who sort of nudged me in like, hey, you should like switch majors because you kind of suck. She was the one who first kind of nudged me towards that direction. But in terms of the actual like learning process, adjusting myself, I pretty much had to figure all of that out on my own. And I don't think I really had that much difficulty doing it, but I think with a mentor, and I had teachers, of course, and my professors, but yeah, I don't think I would consider any of them mentors. I feel like a mentor is someone who is not just there with you to like help you with school and stuff like that. Like it differs from like a tutor or like a teacher. I feel like a mentor is someone who guides you through life in general. And yeah, I have yet to come across one for myself. So can't 100% answer that question, but to those who do have a mentorship program or who do have a mentor at this moment in their life, um, I feel like it's a very advantageous like opportunity. They have a lot of insight. They have a lot of experience, which is probably like it's probably like the most important experience, I guess. But yeah, I've never had one before, so I can't speak too much on it. Sorry.
No, I mean this is why networker is here, you know, maybe
Yes, yes.
But if like, do you have any advice for people who would want to follow a similar path or like specifically in like design?
Um, I think with design in general, I think it's well, okay, so design, a lot of people confuse or mix up design and art, and they're two completely different things. So design, of course, mm, like the things that we do and the projects that we do end up looking hopefully very like aesthetically pleasing and it looks good and stuff like that. But ultimately, design is about solving problems. And it's about functionality and it's not necessarily about yourself. It's more so about other people who you're trying to get to see your design. And art is, I guess, more of like a self-interpretation kind of thing. So I think that's what differentiates the two. And with design, it's definitely something that someone can learn, but I do think that you kind of need to have a knack for it, if you want to go down that route. You have to be able to like differentiate very quickly like what looks good and what looks bad. And if you are a creative thinker, and you also have a logistical side of you, I definitely think graphic design is a very good field that sort of like marries the two together. And we are also very, very immersed in the world of technology because literally like almost everything that we do utilizes computer software like Adobe software, Figma, like all that stuff. So if you're into that, I definitely think graphic design is a really cool like major to get into. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And that was our last question. So thank you so much, Anissa, for coming. We really appreciate it. And if you have any socials or like a LinkedIn or anything, like we'll link it in the description. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.